we're going to go even more detailed, right? So it's not even like, oh, they have to play well, or, oh, I want to see so-and-so have a big game. We're going to get as specific as we possibly can with one thing for Duke, one thing for UNC, and one thing for NC State that we want to see this weekend to show that they're appeasing us, to show that they've accomplished making us more confident in their team, or their player, or their coach, or whatever it is that we think they need to fix. Dennis, there are 3 games that we're focusing on, all tomorrow. Duke versus Clemson, and this is in no particular order. Duke versus Clemson, UNC versus Florida State, and NC State versus Syracuse. Which game would you like to start with? Which team would you like to start with?
Let's go in order of tip-off. 2 o'clock tomorrow, North Carolina.
All right. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. I want, and we're talking specific here, I want R.J. Davis to put up 8+ assists.
Oh, okay.
R.J. Davis is a killer scorer in the basketball this year. And that's a huge compliment. But also, I already know that Leonard Hamilton is going to use all his athletes in Tallahassee to chase that guy around, right? You get to know some of these coaches. I feel like every coach in the ACC is new or relatively new, and then there's like Tony Bennett and Leonard Hamilton. Even Larinaga doesn't – I know he's been around a long time, but Brownell's been around a long time, but I don't know. They just don't pop into my brain as much. It feels like Leonard Hamilton is that guy, and I feel like I know what to expect from him. And I feel like he's going to throw a lot of attention towards R.J. Davis. And I think, similar to a big guy that gets doubled in the post, a lot of times the move isn't to force up a shot through the double team. It's to pass it to the open guy, open jumpers, in and out to the post. So I'm looking at R.J. Davis saying, I know Cadeau leads the team in assists, but there's nothing that says if they're going to put a ton of attention on you, you can't use the gravity that you have, people collapsing to you, to get your teammates open. So I want to see R.J. Davis. I'm not saying he can't score 20. I'd love to see him score 20, 25, and 8 assists, but the specific thing I'm looking for is 8+ assists.
I want to see Armando Bott have 12 or more field goal attempts. It's only actually happened 3 times this season. Came in the season opener against Radford, he was 10-16. Came in the second game of the year against Lehigh, he was 8-14, and he was 4-12 against UConn. But you look at the last 2 games, 6 field goal attempts against Boston College, 6 field goal attempts against Wake Forest. That's it. In 4 of the last 5 games, he's been under double digits in terms of field goal attempts. I feel like if Carolina is truly playing to their max, whether it's him getting offensive rebounds and putbacks, or if they're using him in pick and rolls with Davis or Cadeau and he's working off ball, nonetheless, I think Armando Bott, 12 or more field goal attempts. He's shooting over 53% on the season. You're looking at him also going to the free throw line with some and one opportunity. You're going to see the 18 and 12, like 18 points, 12 rebound Armando Bott that we expect.
We're in the trust tree here, right?
Yeah.
We're all friends. I think I'm coming around towards Armando Bott just having a lesser role this year.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the year, I was terrified for UNC when Bacot was having some down games, and I was thinking maybe he's just waiting for ACC play to kick off. I'm watching them play, and it's one of those deals where I check the stat sheet, and I'm going, wow, Armando hasn't really done much. But at no point in time was I watching the offense and going, oh, wow, they're stalling out, or oh, wow, they need a bucket here and they can't get it. It might just be the offense is operating pretty darn good without him having all of those shot attempts. And that's also a wonderful, backup plan. Right? Can you imagine if there's a day where R.J. Davis and Cormac Ryan and Harrison Ingram are struggling, and it's like, I guess we're going to have to go to our multiple-time All-American in the post. Haven't had to do that very often. It's like, I'm not as urgent with the Armando Bacot stuff as I was. And I'll admit I was very urgent with that for a while. So this is a change of tune for me, which is why, please nobody call me a flip-flopper. It's just gaining it's just gaining more information and changing my mind, which is what smart people do.
Flip-flopper?
Sometimes I think it's hilarious, and I'm not going to get into which side of the politics, but I do think it's funny when they're like, 10 years ago they said this. Now they say the opposite. I'm like, well, did they learn anything new in the last 10 years? If you had asked me what I was doing 10 years ago when I was 23 years old, I hope I disagree with myself a whole bunch now when I'm 33. If I thought the same things would be an issue. So from the beginning of the year to now, I disagree with myself. I'm not as angry that Armando Bacot isn't a featured part of the offense. What team would we go to next?
All right, again, order a tip-off. So we have Duke taking on Clemson tomorrow, 4 o'clock at Cameron Indoor.
This one is my favorite.
Okay, go for it.
I want, at some point in the game, okay, John Shire to go full elementary rec league basketball coach, old school basketball coach, and do a 5 guys out, 5 guys in substitution when he is mad at the people on the floor.
Oh.
You know the feeling, right? Everyone that's ever played, even if you just played rec league, when you're out there and you give up a bunch of points or you make a bunch of dumb turnovers and you look to the scorer's table and there are 5 guys waiting and the coach is usually right next to him, arms folded, looking at you like, all 5 of you are going to come over here and I'm going to let you know everything you did wrong. And it's a bad feeling, but it also is the whole, like, after he's done yelling at you or being stern with you and coaching you hard, then it's, all right, get ready to get back in there, right? Next dead ball, all 5 of you back in. Like, I need somebody to spark this team, and if it's not going to be a player, let it be John Shire, right? Old school, elementary school, all 5 of you are coming out. Because I haven't watched a Duke game yet where there isn't a stretch of like 4 minutes where I'm like, get these guys off the floor, coach. They don't want to play. Get them all off, right? And he's been calling timeouts, or sometimes he lets them play. Send 5 guys, right? It could be the first minutes of the game for 2 of them, right? Because they're only going about 7, 8 deep on the rotation. Listen, we got to put in those guys so you can get yelled at. Send a message.
Something I want to see, talking about sending a message, I want to see Kyle Filipowski in the first 4 minutes before the first media timeout get called for a charge because he's aggressively going towards the hoop. Like, lower his shoulder into someone on Clemson's team and just run through him. And you know what? And be okay with it.
I think you and I both love this story. That has to be the inspiration for
it. And 100%. So the inspiration for this comes from in the Olympics when Kobe Bryant was with Team USA.
The Redeem Team.
The Redeem Team back in 2008 that had Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and all that. Then when they played against Spain in the Olympics, his teammate with the Lakers, Pau Gasol, was playing for Spain. And you know what he did at the very beginning of the game? Ran straight through his chest and got called for a charge. But it set the tone of, like, I don't care who you are, even if you are my teammate in this case with my pro team, you're my opposition now. I'm running through you, and it set that tone. We always talk about sometimes Duke can be soft.
Yes.
Very much so.
This season, quite often.
Very much. But if you want to turn that, you want to talk about, like, manufacturing that mentality, when you get one of your best players, one of your 5-star dudes that does that, okay, you're going to take a foul. That's fine. I almost would say, like, encourage it.
and I think of that Kobe story even more dramatic than you just told it, because it's the Redeem Team. They just lost. Yeah. The Americans lost in the previous Olympics for the first time in a long time, and they were called lackadaisical. They were called things like soft. And then they're playing against Spain, who you brought up. Pau Gasol was his teammate with the Lakers. Kobe called that guy his brother. Like, that is like my best friend. One of called him. It is my brother. Like,
they won championships together.
and I, like, obviously rest in peace to the late great Kobe Bryant. But just the other day, one of Kobe's daughters had a birthday, and guess who was posting pictures celebrating with her? Pau Gasol. Like, these guys are as close as they come. And before the game, right, with USA on his chest, Kobe told Dwayne, LeBron, Bosh, the coach, Coach K, and said, like, I know what play they're running. They're going to set a double screen. I'm running through Pau Gasol's chest. And everyone kind of was like, yeah, we'll see. That's your best friend. You're going to run. Yeah, okay. You're going to embarrass your best friend. It's a gold medal match. And then sure enough, I mean, like, Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams would have been happy with the
full Mike Tolbert over here.
Actually, that would have been the better. Gosh, I missed the Mike Tolbert reference. I'm upset with myself.
I got you back. Don't worry.
Mike Tolbert would have been pleased with the lowering of the shoulder that knocked down Pau. And you're right. That could be something where Duke hasn't played great, right? The loss to Pitt, the Louisville game, like they've soft is a word that we've used. And it might be, I'm going to run through somebody's chest. And everybody's going to be like, really? You got bad hips. And, oh, really? We don't want to get you in foul trouble. And he's just like, no, I don't think you understand. I'm going to run through their chest. And he has to do it. Like, the other thing is you have to back it up, right? Then you have to play tough the rest of the game. which obviously Kobe never had a problem with. Last one. Set us up.
Evening tip-off. We have NC State on the road at Syracuse.
I have one of two, but we're being specific, so I'm going to have to pick one.
Okay.
I'm going to talk my way through it. I thought about saying DJ has to score 25 plus.
Which one?
That was going to be my loophole.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's like when LSU plays Clemson and you go like, I picked the Tigers. I was going to say DJ has to score 25 plus, but I think I'm going to lower it a little bit and go DJ Burns has to score 20. They need, meaning NC State, needs a top of the roster. I think they're too much about depth this year and not enough about who's our dude, right? And like you lost 2 games in a row. 2 games you shouldn't have lost. Who's going to be the guy that's like, we ain't losing again? Is it DJ Burns? Is it DJ Horn? Is it somebody else? I don't know, but somebody has to say like individually, this one's on me. I understand we have 8 starters according to Kevin Keats, and I understand we have 9 guys that can play. No, this one's about me. Give me the ball, watch what I do with it. We're not losing again, which is again a similar kind of Kobe Mamba mindset.
Okay, mine, because we always hear Kevin Keats talking about in order for them to get into their press, which is when they feel like they're playing their best, is when they're able to press teams throughout the entire court. They have to continue. They have to shoot at a high volume, or at a high percentage, I should say. NC State this season, from behind the arc, just under 33%. They average about 21 three-point attempts per game. Shoot 38. That's 8 of 21. 8 of 21 from behind the arc. That's 38%. That's not lights-out shooting, but if you go 8 of 21 from behind the arc against Syracuse, you're doing pretty good. And that's what I want to see. I want to see him go 38%. 8 of 21. That's it. You take 21, make 8. Or you know what? Let's say you take 20. You take 10 three-pointers each half. Make 4.
That's
it.
That's very...
That's specific.
Yeah, I was going to say that's very modern. Like, my I'll take you through my college career real quickly with kind of what you just said. Mm-hmm. My freshman year, we used to have 3... goals for each game, like offense only, like the offensive meeting room before the game. We'd get together.
We had them in lacrosse too.
And it would be 3 goals. And one would be, third down percentage. We want to convert X amount of third downs. We want to be X amount of good in the red zone, and, turnovers were usually the other. But my freshman year, it was very much like we want to be above 50% on third down. We want to be, 75% touchdowns in the red zone or whatever it is. And by my senior year, we had gotten so much more analytically savvy, where our head coach would be up there and going, our offensive coordinator would be up there going, in games that our head coach has coached, if we score at least 24 points, he wins 88% of the games. And if we score at least 27, that jumps to 98. So it's like, and those are made up numbers. But he's like, so our goal is to score 27 and a half or more. And I'm going like, we used to just say 50%. Now we're getting into like, on third downs, we need to be at least 38.7% in order to give our defense a chance to hold them below 12. And I'm going like, what are we doing here, coach? We're big, dumb animals. Just say, get out there and do well on third down.
Got it.
All right, perfect. But when you like you're saying, like sometimes there is like a 38% breakdown, where as long as you do that, everything good happens.
It's just you average 21, you make 8, that's 38%.
And that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
But if I were relaying that information to the team, take good shots, make them. Right?
Simple as that.
Simple as that.